GPS markers on the guys. What
Yeah,
are those
yeah,
for?
we've been doing that. We did it all summer with guys, just get a measurement of how much energy we're expending. We do a lot of heart rate stuff with them too, so we can find out who's running at a pretty high heart rate and who's not, and who needs some rest. So what we do is we do a pretty good job of measuring all that stuff and taking a look at it and trying to gauge our reps according to what we see and what the information we get, whether it's heart rate in particular guys, whether it's GPS, and if we need to tone it back on special teams or certain parts of practice, and then and then also too we test them for hydration quite a bit as well, just to get a sense of who's hydrated and who's not, so we can make sure we're getting fluid. So like everything else, we've got a lot of tools at our disposal, so we're going to use all of them and get the information that can make us better.
So what is it? It's like a little device that sticks on their skin, or?
Yeah, they have to wear it in the back of their undershirt. So
everybody got it?
We've got about 20 guys on each side of the ball that have them.
20 guys on each side?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that something you want to do for everybody, or?
It's just, it gives us kind of what we need. I mean, because we need to monitor certain guys. I mean, we're going to, Tregs is one of those guys that day after day, logs a lot of play, and then we'll, like I said, adjust reps accordingly, hold somebody out if we think we need to, and, just make good decisions.
It's called GPS, just like a...
Yeah, it's basically what it is, GPS deal, and at the end of practice.
It has everything in it, like all the tools that it needs, and like.
Yeah, what they basically do is that they get a readout during practice, really. So the heart rate stuff on these computers, and you've got somebody constantly monitoring that stuff.
So it reads heart rate. Does it read
like galvanic skin reaction to see how hydrated somebody is?
No, we do a urine test for hydration.
Okay, got it.
How's your kicking situation?
You know what? I've been pleasantly surprised, honestly, with our kickers. I mean, I think they both had potential. I've been really pleased with how consistent they've both been so far during camp. As we get a little further along, we'll test it in more situations. Been probably slightly disappointed in our punting, up to this point. It hasn't been as good as I hoped it would be. But, we've got some time to get that straightened out. So, we've got to keep the kicking situation where it is and keep bringing them along, and then we've got to get our punters, more consistent. At times they're doing some good things, but it hasn't been consistent.
Is this pointing behind Leininger, or would that include Leininger?
Just the whole group.
And that include punt coverage, or just the?
No, just the punt.
So what's the rationale behind going to Dallas?
Yeah, I can't promise that.
Well, big thing is want to get into the heat. So we went over there today. I think we had 95 degrees over there today. So we'll get over there again tomorrow, and then get over there on Friday as well, and try to get into the heat. And then, I'll also like change of scenery. I think it's good for your players because they become accustomed to seeing the same thing. And I think anytime you can, change it up a little bit, I think it's good for them. They have to adjust, and I think that's important for a football team to be able to adjust to a different set of circumstances. And so when we go over there and practice, it's a different surface. The field is a little bit smaller in terms of area to practice in and sidelines and that kind of thing. And so it's good for our guys to see something different and have to adjust to something different.
Clarity in your offensive line, as far as who's going to start?
It's still coming together. I mean, we feel pretty good about 5 guys right now, and with some guys nipping at their heels, which is what we want. We want to come out of camp with eight players that we feel good about. I think right now we're probably at 6.5. Hopefully getting towards 7, and by the end of this, we'd like to have 8 or 9.
What did you think of Cochran's day with the ones, both the 2 practices?
I thought it was good. I haven't had a chance to see this yet, but from what I saw earlier today, he looked good. He's more consistent. He still is not as consistent as we need for him to be. Right now his bad plays are bad, and his good plays are real good, but he's got to have less bad plays. And he's getting there. He's making progress, and and I'm pleased with where he is. We just got to keep coming along.
Is that a guy who you're just kind of giving every opportunity and kind of hoping that he's one of those 6 or 8?
He's like everybody else. I mean, he's he hadn't played a lot, and so we need for him to develop into a good player. I mean, he's a redshirt sophomore, and it's kind of time for him to. That's typically when offensive linemen start to come into their own. You can recruit some exceptional guys that play early, but typically it's a 2 or 3 year process with those young offensive linemen. And when we signed him, we knew he was going to be a little bit of a project, and he needed to change his body and do some work in the weight room, and he has, and he's much better. And now he's just got to get master the technical part of it.
Your first fall camp here, 2 years ago, you tried. There weren't a whole lot of double days. I think maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have 3 in a week.
Yeah.
Is that an indication of just how much better condition these guys are right now?
Yeah. We can come out here and do this now and get through it. And like I said, and now we can get into the heat and do it. We had it was hot yesterday out here, and it was good for us to grind through it yesterday. We had a long practice and full pads and tackled, and I thought our guys responded well. And we were a little fatigued, and I was anxious to see how they responded this morning, and I thought we responded very well. I thought this morning's practice was very sharp, spirited, and then I thought this afternoon the mindset was exactly what we needed.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, thank you guys.